Okay, today is a great day to be in Toronto. The weather was perfect and I got my good friend and fellow travel blogger Danielle from the Thought Card visiting. And with all the things to see and do, we end up on the patio. As two lovers of beer, enter Amsterdam BrewHouse. Alrighty, Amsterdam BrewHouse, one of my favorite spots here along the beautiful Toronto Harbourfront.
Welcome to the BrewHouse, guys. Thank you very much for joining us. My name is Helder, by the way. The beer you guys are having right now is a very special beer for us. And the reason why is because we've been brewing this beer since day one. We've been brewing this beer for about over 31 years now. So we're the oldest craft brewery in Toronto. Now, we actually just won an award recently for this beer. They were the Canadian Brewing Awards, and essentially what they do is they rank the different types of beers throughout the country, and this actually won gold for Golden Lager, which is pretty sweet. So this is considered the best lager in Canada.
Okay, that's cool. Toronto's first craft brewery, been around for 31 odd years, but what up with the name? I mean, why Amsterdam? Don't get me wrong, I love Amsterdam. It's one of my absolute favorite cities, but Amsterdam is a city already known for making great beer.
Amsterdam itself, guys, we were founded back in 1986. So like I said, about 31 years now. We are the oldest craft brewery in Toronto. Our original owner actually moved here to Toronto from Amsterdam. So that's one part of it. Okay, so he's Dutch, moved to Toronto, and as I said, we're the very first craft brewery, so there was no craft beer being made in Toronto at the time. So, what happened was, he decided to open up a craft brewery. He was of Dutch ancestry, of course, but not only that, the best-selling beer in the world at the time was Heineken as well, which is a Dutch beer. So to attract those Heineken drinkers here in Toronto, he named the company Amsterdam. Amsterdam, by the way, guys, we brew over 80 different beers a year. 80 different recipes in a year. And a lot of that is broken down into the two locations where we brew, this being one of them, of course, and then we have a main facility in North Toronto. The beers we focus on down here, though, are what we call our adventure brews, which are small specialty batches that we brew for the restaurant itself. And not only that, we, let's say of those 80, about 45 of those are made here, and they're all different recipes, and we cycle throughout the year, which is pretty cool. So, this beer, by the way, guys, as I said, there's no name for it. We haven't released it yet. It's not been available for anybody because we're still trying to figure out what we want to do with it. However, I will give you the rundown. This beer initially was a brown ale, okay, which we then aged in red wine barrels for 5 months, okay. They were Pinot Noir barrels. Yeah, we got it from wineries out in Niagara. What happens after a certain amount of time of aging beer in barrels, the barrel ends up imparting the flavor onto the beer itself. The beers we make here, we do not package either. So what that means is the beers are poured directly from the tanks straight to the taps of the bar, which is pretty awesome.
That is awesome, but all this beer tasting has me hungry. But before we get to escape to our sought-after patio spot, Helder hits us with one more fact.
We actually just found out that this is the second busiest restaurant in Canada.
My God, not surprised.
Yeah, no kidding. Second busiest restaurant in Canada. We seat over 1,100 people at a time here.
A day?
No, at a time. So today, Saturday's a busy day. I'm expecting to get maybe about 5,000 to 6,000 people through the doors.
With that, we start pouring over the menu to discover what beers pair with what food.
So this is how we do this here. We have 3-speed, blonde, I've got raspberry wheat, and then I have Radler. Oh, this is interesting. Yeah, so see there. Okay, I'm changing this up. The big wheel is not pouring, or sorry, no, it was the other one. So we have, this is the big wheel, or sorry, this is the bone sugar, yeah. The big wheel was not pouring, so I switched it up. That's the downtown brown. So instead, I got you the cruiser.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So the cruiser is actually this guy. You know what? Maybe I'll put him on there so you know.
Okay.
Just because we're having a problem with that keg right now.
Okay.
And then this is the Fieldberry, the spotted cow Fieldberry. So it's really nice. It's like a wheat beer and it has a little bit of berry infused into it.
Awesome.
Okay? Killer, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, as soon as Danielle is finished taking pictures of her beer, we can get to talking about Gordana's pizza.
So the Brewmaster sausage, which is the pizza here, goes perfect with the downtown brown, which is a malty beer.
Now, I've tried a lot of pizza, even pizza from its birthplace, Naples, and the Brewmaster sausage is in my top 10. It's fantastic.
So here we have the summer ravioli, which pairs perfect with Amsterdam's Brewery's wonderful award-winning wine.
For me, I'm trying out the lemon schnitzel with its spent grain breading, fingerling potatoes, sauteed rapini, charred grilled lemon, and crispy capers, which pairs perfectly with one of my favorites,
the raspberry
Wheat
Let's see who's paying attention to Helder's lesson about tasting beer.
Step one, when you're trying a new beer, look at the color. Note the bubbles, the texture, if anything. Next, swirl it around. This releases the aroma so you can smell it next. Get the nose in there. Next step. Okay, sip for flavor and don't judge at first. Just enjoy the first sip, and after your third or fourth sip, then you can really decide if you like a beer or not. That's the crash course.
All right, not bad. I want to thank Amsterdam BrewHouse for hosting us and visit our blog post for more info. Cheers.